It's time to BS.
Dustin, I'm in a very bad mood to start the show.
That's a good sign for us.
It's sure. Let's go from there.
But this is
Dustin,
why
how
we
are you
do
doing
this,
this
right?
evening?
It'll lift us. It'll lift us into the stratosphere as we talk Seahawks football.
Easy. Easy does it.
Oh no. Is
There
it
we
coming up
go.
on you?
It was.
Did it foam over all over Dan? If you are listening on audio, subscribe on YouTube to the Time to BS, so the Department of BS YouTube channel, so you
You
can
tried.
see. Yeah.
Oh, geez. You know what? Let's get into it. Dustin, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Looking forward to the show as always. Work was work today, but it's Friday night and the feeling's right, as they say. You know, I'm doing well, and I rewatched Hard Knocks before the show because we may talk about it a little bit. And I don't know about you, Dan, but I noticed there's the feeling in the air. This is where. And I was thinking about it earlier today. Like when I was a kid, I used to, this time of year, there was kind of like a sadness because summer was ending. Summer was ending and it's gearing up, and it's kind of like, okay, it's time to get ready to go back to school. But now, this type of weather, as we get older, it means football is in the air. We are going to talk some preseason football, but it's noticeably colder where I am at night. Is that the same for you? I mean, we're about 3-ish hours apart.
We got hit with a tornado recently, actually.
Oh wow, jeez, I didn't know this.
So Long Island got hit with a tornado towards the city, and it was like, holy crap, this is crazy because we got hit with a tornado. God, years and years ago. It was small but quick,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
hit Brooklyn. But this one hit a town called Long Beach, which is not to be confused with Long Beach, California. But it started out in the water, and then it hit landfall, and then it blocks of Long Beach. It was like, where did you come from?
Man.
You know? Oh,
Yeah.
Dustin froze.
Oh no.
There he is.
All right. Are we good? Are we good?
There we go. We're good.
All right.
But other than that, I mean, I'm doing okay. I mean, Dustin, I'm in a bad mood to start the show, and I really don't want to be in a bad mood because, like you said, the weather is chill. The weather's cooling up. Everything's cool. Football's starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Preseason football. Everything's fine and dandy in the Department of Nonsense. But Islanders Twitter consistently tries to piss me off.
I wouldn't say they try. I follow you on Twitter, and if you don't follow Dan, he's a good follow. Follow him. But I see some of the tweets, man.
It's ridiculous because every time I go on Twitter, I'm scrolling through, doing my whole thing, my whole 9 yards, and seeing, all right, what's going on in the world of nonsense.
Yeah.
And then this thing hits me like a train. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, the New York Islanders held a contest for a fan voting contest for their third jersey, which is cool. It's cool as hell to see.
Yeah,
because it allows the fans to get involved with the design of a new jersey for the club.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a small minority of Islander Twitter, very small but very loud, that will find some way to make this about the general manager and how he didn't trade for a 40-goal scorer, or he did nothing to improve the team. Or it's just, my point of this whole matter is this, Dustin, and Seahawk Twitter is guilty of this too. We have been very well experienced with this over the years. Why is it that the fans continue going? It must be so difficult being that miserable
Yeah.
to where you have to make everyone's life a living hell because you're miserable as a fan and you try so hard to see the terribleness. That's not even a word, the bad in everything. And you can't even just look in and say, hey, the Islanders are making a third jersey. This is cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so stupid because every time I go on Twitter, every time, it's the Islanders didn't do this, therefore they're going to be a terrible team this year. And I'm wearing an Islanders hat for those listening. I'm born and bred Islanders fan, but
Yeah.
I've talked about this on multiple occasions on this program. I love this team. I hate this fan base.
You
I
have
hate them.
mentioned that.
I hate them with a burning passion of 1,000 suns because no matter what they do, no matter what the Islanders do, they could win the Stanley Cup this year.
Mhm.
Hypothetically, they could win
Yeah.
the Stanley Cup this year. And you've got these idiot fans that will try their best to make things miserable. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. And the thing is, like,
And
it's
you're an
always.
Oilers fan, so God help you.
Oh,
So
well, yeah. I'm gearing up for a season of Mike Babcock as the head coach, so we'll see. But the thing is, like, whenever you make, and I have even had to step back myself a little bit, because the Seahawks are my number one team. I think I've made no bones about that. The Seahawks were my choice, right? The
Yeah.
Oilers were as well, as are the Mavericks, but
Yes.
there's just something else. Like the Yankees was passed on to me by my dad. Only New York team I follow, but that was my dad passed that on to me. But the Seahawks are my number one team, partially because I chose them. I still to this day, I don't know why I did. I just did. But it's also the football season's shorter. So, in my opinion, the games mean more.
Yes.
But when I was younger, the Seahawks would affect my mental health on a Sunday. And as I've gotten older, I've kind of stepped it back. There's certain games where the stakes are high and it ratchets up, right?
The Super Bowl.
Yeah. Super Bowl was one of them. I remember I told the story on No Creds and I believe on this show when they first went with the Legion of Boom, against the Broncos. I remember telling my mom I was nervous. I felt like I was going to take a big
Where's the
test.
graphic?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
it is.
I was nervous. I felt very nervous before that Super Bowl, and I felt like like I said, like I was about to take a big test. But even with this past Super Bowl, I was confident heading into it.
Yes.
But I was also more relaxed. Okay. And that's the thing. I think some people make the fandom of a team their entire identity. And
I can't say anything about that because I literally have my two favorite teams tattooed on my biceps.
yeah, but I also feel like at moments you're a rational fan. You
Thank
like,
God.
that's the thing. And I mean, I shouldn't say anything either. My house is filled with Seahawks stuff.
Here's
You
the
can't.
thing, Dustin, and you know me better than a good chunk of people that have been on the show.
Yeah.
I am pretty rational when it comes to my fandom. I
Yeah.
really am.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm confident. I'm sometimes overly confident, but I also
Sometimes.
understand. Okay, if the Seahawks win 13 games, great. If they win 10 games, okay, fine. Because I don't go into a game and say this is going to determine my sanity for the next 8 days. I just go, okay, it's just a football game. But that's how I see things.
Yes.
Like I watch an Islander game because I love this hockey team. I really do. I've told my wife this, who's a Rangers fan. Look, the Islander tattoo's right there on my bicep.
Yeah.
You can clearly see. I've told my wife this, who's a Ranger fan, born and bred. our kids are probably going to be Islander fans.
Yeah,
I will
not if she
find a
has
way
anything
do
to
it.
say about
I
it.
will find a way to make our kids Islander fans. I don't know how, but I'm going to find a way to do it. But I will tell them. I say, kids, here's a reminder. You can love this team, but good loving God, be careful of this fan base.
Yeah.
Be careful because they will find some way to make your fandom a living hell. I don't know how they'll do it, but they'll figure it out. I have a dear friend of mine. His name is Connor, who's been on this show, who's been on BS sessions before. And he literally told me, he's like, I respect the history of the Islanders, but good God, your fan base is miserable. They're miserable. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it, Dustin. It's like, listen, we're both New Yorkers. It's pretty obvious that we can tell you that the audience can tell you we're both New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Yankee fans. Oh,
And I'm one of them.
he is one of them.
Yes.
He's one of them. Dustin is one of them. It's oh my God. I don't know how for those listening, yes, Kevin is not here on the episode right now because Kevin's in his office.
Mm-hmm.
And by office, I mean he's actually at work. So
Yeah.
he'll join. He will join later on, which means one of us has got to send him the link again.
Yeah, for sure. And you
it's
know what
gonna be me. I know it's gonna be me.
You know what I'm hoping for, Dan, is that magical playoff episode where we were reacting. We did a reaction to the game, a post game show.
Yeah.
And Kevin was like, "I don't think I'm going to be able to make it," but we saw the debut of BK, aka Business Kev.
Business Kevin.
Yeah. He was there. I'm hoping we see that again.
It was wonderful. So we don't have a loaded show, thank God, because listen, the preseason is we're in the middle of the preseason. It's perfectly fine. So there's not a lot of news going around. There was a new contract extension. Finally, that was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Which should we wait till Kevin gets here to talk about the Witherspoon deal?
Sure, we can wait. We can wait for Kev. We'll talk about all the cornerback goings on, but let me just, and I guess I'll segue us in because I did watch Hard Knocks, because I have HBO, and so I'm watching it. And first, let me say, Liev Schreiber, so good as a narrator. Okay,
oh yeah,
very, very good. Sets the mood for the show perfectly, and I was very skeptical of the Seahawks being on Hard Knocks. I was very superstitious. I'm like, man, usually teams that are on Hard Knocks, it doesn't end well. But I'll be darned, I'm enjoying watching this show. And there are a few useful things that you can pick up from the show when you keep in mind that it's a TV show and they're editing it.
By the way, to piggyback on your point, Dustin.
Yeah.
Seahawk Twitter. You need to be quiet.
Yeah, well, that's
keep going. I'll finish my point.
All right, yeah, that's part of the reason, and I'm sure you and I are going to get into it for the same reason. But first, we made some comments about the Terrion Arnold signing last week, and when you watch this episode of Hard Knocks, it makes a little bit more sense. There's a couple clips that I wanted to talk about. One, they did take the temperature of players on that team, and you actually see them. You see them bring in. Well, they must have. It didn't happen on camera, but they talked to Jalen Milroe because Jalen Milroe, very good friends with Terrion Arnold, according to the show. And what they did show is they brought in Robbie Oots, who was his teammate at Alabama, and they said, "Hey, what do you think of this guy? What do you think?" And Oots basically said, when this news broke, the first thing I said was Terrion, because he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would do this.
Yeah, like you can vouch for the guy.
Yeah. So they did take the temperature, and I'm sure other stuff happened off camera. And there's a sequence where Jay Harbaugh and John Schneider were talking. And John Schneider, it was on the field, and they said, "Why do you think the Lions released him?" And Jay Harbaugh said, well, if you read the article in The Athletic, it's pretty bad. There's no getting around it. If everything is true, it sounds bad. And he said they had to release him. And Schneider said, yes, there's a difference between the team and then the second chance team. He said if we were in the same position and we had drafted him, we probably would have had to release him too.
It would have been a gigantic PR nightmare because keep in mind here, Detroit, Seattle, two very different cities.
Yes.
In the way their public relations and the media market handles everything. Keep it in mind. Like, God, what's a good example of a PR nightmare in the Seahawks history? Percy Harvin? I mean,
I would say maybe Percy, or when it came out that, well, that stuff was never, as far as I know, I don't know if that stuff was ever verified, but I was going to say all the Golden Tate stuff.
Golden Tate would have been a good choice, but over the last 20 years, I don't know. Jeremy Stevens?
Yeah, that's
Jeremy Stevens would be the easiest choice.
That's probably, but a lot of that stuff happened post playing career, I think, or was there more that I'm not remembering during?
There might have been a little bit during his career that was like, okay. Yeah. And but at the same point, they kept him around.
They did. They did
keep him around. And part of it was Mike Holmgren's doing, but at the same point, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So,
and we've talked 1,000 times. Talent will get you second chances
that's where,
in the league.
Where's Desi here? Because Arnold was a product of the Alabama cesspool of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's history has been Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Pro Bowler after All Pro after Pro Bowler after All Pro. Desi can vouch for this. The Alabama cesspool of talent runs deep, and Arnold was part of it. Arnold's part of a list of secondary players that just thrive in Alabama's talent pool.
Yeah.
He was a first-round pick. He was a first-round pick from Alabama for the Lions.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, should he have been taken that high? Was he taken at the right spot? It's one of those. But he did play pretty well his rookie season with Detroit. And then last season, part of it was the scheme. I will defend it and say the scheme did not help his cause.
Yeah, scheme makes a difference.
Scheme does make a difference. But at the same point, God, what's a really good example? Byron Maxwell. Or a better example would have been Shaquille Griffin.
Yeah.
Shaquille Griffin, when he was here, was a very good corner.
Yes.
Not a great corner, but he was a good corner. A lot of it had to do with the fact that the scheme did help for his skill set. It really did.
Yeah.
But then the other part of it was the reason why I was a Pro Bowler was the pass rush did help benefit for the secondary. Because what people don't tell you is that you can have the greatest secondary in the world, but if you have no pass rush, it doesn't help at all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because if you give any QB time, they're going to be able to find a throw, find a seam, no matter how good a cover corner is or anything.
Case in point, Tom Brady.
Yeah. And I would say to your thoughts about scheme making a difference, Brandon Browner, huge player where he thrived in Seattle and he thrived in Pete Carroll's scheme. Outside of that, I think he was somewhat decent for the Patriots for a little while, but not much.
He played with New England for their Super Bowl team. Was with the Saints for a little bit. Didn't perform fairly well in New Orleans. Now, granted, that also didn't help because the Saints defense is god awful. At that time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was a Pro Bowl in Cleveland.
Okay. I had forgotten about that.
I'm thinking of Braylon Edwards.
Oh, maybe.
I'm probably thinking of Braylon Edwards.
Maybe Braylon Edwards, yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, he was a Pro Bowler in Cleveland. I was right because he was at the CFL for a hot minute, and then he went to Cleveland, and then he went to the Seahawks, won a Super Bowl there, and then went to the Patriots. Got a lot of money for the Patriots at that time,
Yes.
and then it's.
And he had like PED issues too, I think.
He had
or
a whole
something.
lot of
Yeah.
issues with PEDs, but
Yeah.
when he was on, man, he was on. He was the
Oh, yeah.
hidden fourth gem of the Legion of Boom.
Oh, for
He
sure.
really
And he
was.
was a tall corner too.
He
That
was.
was the thing. But I go back to the Hard Knocks thing just to say the signing makes a little bit more sense when they checked in with character references. They mentioned they're like
Correct.
Saban loved him. Everybody had great things to say about him, and apparently the Seahawks were in on him. Thought about drafting him in the draft when the Lions did. So it shows Snyder going back to all of the combine tape from that. They're rewatching interviews. They did some due diligence. So I mean, Hard Knocks, it's been interesting to see what they decide to show you behind the scenes, but it's a nice companion to all the news happening around. And man, the more I watch this show, I got to get out to Seattle, man. The shots from VMAC are awesome.
Mhm.
They have Mount Rainier in the background.
Yep.
The soundtrack, they're killing it on the soundtrack. Okay,
Good.
they talked about at JSN, and they're playing Voodoo Child in the background because Jimi Hendrix from the Pacific
Seattle.
Northwest.
You'd
from
be surprised
Seattle.
in
Yeah.
how deep the music, the rock, the history of music goes
Oh yeah.
in that area specifically.
Mhm.
People forget some of the greatest musicians to ever come out of Seattle, or some of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Hart, Ann and Nancy Wilson, they're from Seattle.
Yeah, the Wilson sisters, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Jimi Hendrix, Seattle.
Mhm.
Pearl Jam, they got their big start in Seattle.
Yeah.
Obviously Nirvana, they're from Seattle.
Yes.
Alice in Chains.
Seattle,
They
yeah.
got that era of music in the late 80s and into the 90s. The grunge boom began in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
People completely don't understand how huge the Pacific Northwest is when it comes to music.
Soundgarden, another one,
Big, oh my god,
out of there. And see, the people, Pearl Jam, the majority of them are from Seattle, and they were in a members of Pearl Jam were in a different band called Green River. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole, but Eddie Vedder is from California. That's where some people get crossed up,
and Eddie Vedder is a Cubs fan, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Yeah, well, I can't, to quote you from earlier, I can't say anything. My mix of teams is all over the map.
Good point.
But I just need to get out to Seattle, man. I've been falling in love with some of the shots from Hard Knocks, and I'm really enjoying watching it. I really am. Like I said, in the beginning, I was unhappy that they were on, but I'm enjoying watching it, and it's a nice companion to the first preseason game, because when Kevin gets here, and we talk about that a little bit, there's a couple players that they really focused on in this week's episode, and wouldn't you know it, one of them had a big role in the preseason game.
I will like to point out, because we mentioned Terron Arnold.
Yeah.
It makes you question how battered
Yes.
The secondary, the DB room, with the exception of the safeties, the corner room in particular is the one that I'm like,
yeah,
okay, Julian Neal has been hurt. It has gone on his defense. Julian Neal has been hurt. They've been looking forward to getting this kid on as one of the starters. Nehemiah Pritchett and Michael Dansby.
And Noah Igbagane or something.
He was a first round pick of the Dolphins forever ago. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, is like, man, is this corner room battered, or are they just not playing well? Pritchett's been the victim of just he's been unlucky.
Yeah,
He's been unlucky. Auburn historically does not produce great corners. They don't. They don't produce great defensive backs. They produce great offensive linemen, great defensive linemen. Derek Hall's one of them.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks, say what you want, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
But Pritchett's been the victim of, he hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, but when he's gotten the playing time, he hasn't capitalized on said playing time. But which we'll get to the other corner that they signed.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that? Because we can talk about Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, and obviously I'd like to get Kevin's thoughts because
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh, by the way, happy late birthday to the birthday boy.
Oh man, yeah, I was out yesterday. Congratulations to him. I was out yesterday with him briefly for some birthday wings at a local establishment here, and I had a nice tall glass of Spaten and celebrated with Ryan a little bit here. So it's nice to see you. And
there you go, Ryan. Good to see you.
I do want to get Kevin's thoughts because he's from Dallas and he was there when Travion's time in Dallas came to an end, but a little bit behind the curtain, we were talking a little bit in our group chat, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Dan. They wouldn't make either of the moves that they have made because people are asking, is Terrion Arnold signed? Yes, he is signed. The deal is done.
There's a but.
Yeah, but that's the big but. He's on the commissioner's exempt list right now, and we don't know when or if he's going to be able to play. But their big need, in my opinion, is number 3 corner. They're set with obviously Spoon and Job.
Yep.
Number 3 is where they're looking, and they wouldn't make either of these moves if they felt confident about the play of Nehemiah Pritchett. And also, it says more to me about the severity of Neal's injury. Like,
what is he hurt with?
I've tried to read up on it a little bit, and it just says he has been unable to practice or do anything with an undisclosed injury. That's kind of undisclosed. So
that's concerning a little bit, but I get what you're saying here. We'll dabble more into the Diggs side and when Kevin does join. But
yeah,
the Seattle Seahawks made a very interesting free agent decision. They brought in Trevon Diggs, who's a former All-Pro and really, really good corner when he was with Dallas before he got hurt. He had 11 interceptions.
Yes.
His second year in the league, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 2021, 11 picks, something like that.
He had a ridiculously high interception total, which is deceiving when you think about it, because you can have what's a great example of this? Antonio Cromartie.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Cromartie led the league in 2007 with interceptions, I believe it was. Ryan, fact check me on this, please. Former Jet Antonio Cromartie. He led the league in interceptions in 2007 with, I think, 11 or 12. Some ridiculous interception total in 2007 with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But he was okay in coverage.
Yeah.
He was okay in coverage, and he was also okay with distribution of children. That sounded terrible.
For sure.
That sounded terrible. Okay, that warning was off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But he had a vasectomy. He has a lot of kids.
Yes, he does.
That's very well established.
He's giving Phillip Rivers a run for his money.
Hey, there's Kevin. Speak of the devil.
Oh, there he is.
There's Kevin. Speak of the devil.
Kevin, you timed it perfectly. We are discussing Trayvon Diggs.
Okay, I'm ready to dive
Hey,
in.
Kevin's here. Hi, Kevin. So, yeah, the Seahawks made a very interesting free agent decision. Trevon Diggs, 1 year veteran minimum deal with the Seahawks. Here's the thing, and Kevin, we talked about it a little bit. 11 interceptions in 2021, All Pro year in Dallas that year. Deceitful in coverage. I am weirdly confident in this move, not because of the fact that he was a former All-Pro with the Cowboys. Do you guys remember the 2020, I want to say a 2023 Ravens secondary off the top of your head?
I do not.
No,
Okay, I got you.
I know they
So,
had a solid one.
they had a great secondary, but a lot of those players that they had were washed up, okay-ish players. One of them was Ronald Darby. Does the name Ronald Darby ring a bell?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl champion with the Eagles, decent corner, not great, decent. Also, he had high interceptions totals throughout his career. Was a bit of a he tried to play the ball too much, multiple occasions with the Eagles and the Broncos and also Buffalo as well. Went to Baltimore and he recovered his career immediately. But also, who was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens that year?
I was
That's a
going to
good
say
point.
Mike McDonald.
Yeah.
Correct. So at first I'm like, okay, he's a tall corner. He's a big corner. He can play the ball really well. But then a lot of the comments are like, why didn't you just bring back Tariq Woolen then? Because Tariq Woolen's a head case.
Costs a lot more money, first of all.
Costs a lot more money. Correct, Kevin. Points there. But also, Tariq Woolen's a head case.
That's right.
Trevon Diggs doesn't seem to be a head case.
Well, we'll get into that in a second.
Well, that's what I was.
He is a bit of a head case, and I live in Dallas, so I know a little bit about this.
Okay. So
Yeah, because I wanted
to hear you out on this one then.
Yeah, I wanted to say as the man who lives in the Dallas area, because I wasn't there, but I remember there was a little bit of there's a reason he's not in Dallas anymore.
That's right.
And it's not just injuries, right?
It's not just Jerry.
That's correct. It's something that occurred last year at the end of the year, right after Christmas time.
Okay.
And what happened was as the Cowboys played on Christmas Day last year, and Diggs' family is from somewhere in that area because they played Washington.
All right. Yeah.
And he requested that he stay behind so he could spend time with his family. And Brian Schottenheimer said no.
Okay.
And so what happened was the Cowboys' flight left. Diggs was not on the plane.
Oh, dear.
And there was other players that asked the same thing, and Brian Schottenheimer's answer to all their requests was no, we are a team, and we're going to fly back as a team.
Okay.
Well, he decided that he wasn't going to do that, and there was immediate fallout. And so that set him off on the wrong foot.
Credit to Shoddy, by the way.
Credit to Schottenheimer. That's right. And that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. If Schottenheimer wasn't going to put up with that, what is McDonald going to do? Because you know full well he would throw that guy off the back of the plane.
If I may.
Okay.
From the press conferences that I've seen of Diggs, he seems to be pretty level-headed so far. He pretty much said it's like, yeah, I acknowledge I messed up, which is good.
Yeah,
because
that's the first step.
The best teacher is accountability.
That's right.
It really is. But it also sets in. They would not make this move if they weren't 100% confident that Julian Neal was going to be healthy and ready to go by week 1,
Yes.
and 2, holy crap, the cornerback room is not looking too sexy.
All of
Yeah.
a sudden, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
There are some
Yeah.
issues back there. They wouldn't have signed Arnold either if this was not and signing him is not even. They didn't sign him. And I posted that they did, but they agreed. They haven't signed him because as soon as he signs, he's on the exempt list.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And so they wouldn't have made that move, and they wouldn't have brought in Arnold or Diggs. And I don't know if you disclosed this or not. Do you know who his brother is?
Yes.
Oh, do we know who his brother is?
We do.
Okay. So I just wanted to point that out, which is another head Casey kind of guy. All right.
Well,
And-
okay. In the defense, Trevon Diggs and his brother, Pro Bowl receiver Stephon Diggs,
Yes.
Correct.
they do not seem to be like the same person.
Okay. And that's fair.
Because if we're talking about Stephon Diggs, with Cardi B, okay, that's
Yeah,
a can
that's
of
a whole
worms you don't
different
need to
animal.
go down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a can of worms you don't need to go down.
No.
Stephon
And-
Diggs, the receiver, is completely different from Trevon Diggs, the cornerback.
Well, hopefully that's true.
Hopefully
And-
it's true. Listen,
But that last
we will not
incident
find
that I
out until
talked
the season
about
starts.
seems to indicate that wasn't the case not that long ago.
True.
And of course, he said what everybody wanted to hear at the press conferences because he wants to play,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wants to start.
and he wants starting. Let's get on the team and make the team before we start worrying about that.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna make the team, Kevin.
I'm sure he is.
He might as
But-
well make the team because Pritchard is
The key,
Oof.
the key to me is, McDonald's going to take care of any issues, people wise, and so I'm not concerned about that. And everybody brings up he had 11 interceptions. You know what that means? It
nothing.
means that the corner on the other side was the shutdown corner.
Yeah. They didn't want to challenge him.
Who
they
was
didn't
the
wanna
shutdown
challenge
corner that year with Dallas?
Right? That's why
Who
Deion
knows?
Sanders didn't have that many interceptions, but he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because they threw the other way. And so if you have 11 interceptions, you know what that means? First of all, you're out of position. And you have speed to recover, but sometimes you don't. And he gave up more than his fair share of big plays.
Okay, I got it.
So
Trevon Diggs, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Maurice Candy, CJ Goodwin, also Kelvin Joseph, who was a second-round draft pick out of Kentucky, number 44 overall. And defensive coordinator Dan Quinn helped anchor that team.
Yeah.
Okay. And we know Dan Quinn's not putting up with any nonsense either. So
Correct.
he maybe
I like
he-
the second
and a
round.
lot of guys I saw that stepped up because a lot of people know him
Yeah.
that are on the team that played with him at Alabama. The one of the position coaches was at Alabama when Diggs was there,
Yeah.
and the defensive coordinator was a coach in Dallas when he was here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
Duarte.
they all signed off on this. So I have some confidence. There's some concerns because if this guy's an All-Pro, how come it took him till August to get a contract? And
Yeah.
only one other team, which was Detroit, even talked to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of that, Kevin, is it's a what have you done for me lately league, and Diggs's time in Green Bay did not go well.
No.
Nope.
Because he was, after that incident that I'm talking about, the Cowboys released him.
Yeah.
And then Green Bay picked him up, and I think I read that he played 2 plays, and that's all in
Yeah.
the playoff game, lost to the Bears.
Okay, so keep this in mind here. Diggs is 4th on the depth chart at corner as I'm looking at OurLads.com on my handy dandy do monitor that's in front of me right now because I have a second monitor in front of me right now. He's fourth string corner behind Andre Fuller, Nehemiah Pritchett, and Devin Witherspoon for the left corner spot. Josh Joe, Julian Neal, Michael Dansby, both rookies, are behind him. And
So as a number 4 corner, you can make it. You can try it and
Fuller,
see how it works
they
out.
love this kid, Andre Fuller.
And
They've been loving this kid.
But like you said, Dustin, in our conversations, are they happy with Pritchard?
Yeah, no, there's no way they're happy with Nehemiah
Pritchett. There's got to be questions there.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, and we were talking about it just before you came on, Kevin, it also must mean that Neal's injury.
Yeah, I read that. Neal's injury is not good.
Yeah.
What is he hurt with?
Like I said, Kevin, have you found anything? Because all I read, it said
that he was hurt. There was no specifics that I saw.
Yeah, it said undisclosed is the last that I
saw. And that he has not even practiced, let alone ready to play in a game. So there's concern, a lot of concern there.
Yeah.
Okay, undisclosed leg injury sustained early in August.
Undisclosed. So how is anything in 2026 undisclosed on a football team?
I will give Schneider a ton of credit, though, where credit is due, because when something's wrong, he lets nothing get out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's like Lou Lamoriello type stuff right there.
Well, and he's also, I mean, credit to him. He's turning over rocks. He's trying to figure out how to fix the weaknesses, perceived or real, on this roster. And, that's all you want from your GM.
Right. And like I said, there are people that are speaking highly of him that have played with him or coached him. So that gives me some confidence that this is going to work out.
It's the same with Terrion Arnold. It's the same. I was telling Dan before they went on, they checked the temperature of a lot of players before they brought them in, and you even saw some of it in the Hard Knocks episode. They mentioned Nick Saban gave Terrion Arnold a glowing character reference. Jalen Milroe knows Terrion very well, so they talked to Jalen. They talked to Robbie Oots. That's the part that was actually shown. John Schneider brought in Robbie Oots, teammates with Terrion Arnold, and said, "Hey," and they show bits of the conversation with Terrion's agent, and they make it clear. Schneider says, "Does he know that he's just coming in here to fit in?" And and everything, and his agent says, "Yes, he understands that. He just wants to play, et cetera, et cetera." And
good.
So they are doing due diligence as well, because we all brought up concerns last week about the impact on the culture. We didn't think they'd make this move. You'd expect it from the Raiders or the Cowboys of certain eras, but not, but here we are.
But the interesting thing that I saw from the Hard Knocks was that if they said that if Arnold was on the Seahawks when this incident supposedly occurred, they would have dropped him.
Oh yeah,
right.
They said we'd have to release him. Yeah.
So you had to release him then, but now you'll sign him. So that's the money talking there, I'm sure.
The money, and also that there was a quote. It was Jay Harbaugh that John was talking to. I was talking to it to Dan about it right before you joined the show, Kevin, and he said there's a difference when you're the team that drafts him versus the second chance team. And so,
all right, any final thoughts before we move on Trevon?
Well, I just, because I've always been of the mindset, because a lot of people say everybody deserves a second chance. I don't believe that's true. You deserve a second chance when you've earned it. So both of these players, I hope, are in that camp that they earn a second chance and they do something with it.
All right, with that being said, there's been some money moves going on. What a transition we got going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, Devin Witherspoon has finally been re-signed.
Yes.
Finally. Thank God. Because let's also be honest here. We knew this was happening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
This was happening.
we talked about this in June or May or somewhere in there.
Yes.
Give me a second.
Somewhere in there, and we talked about how this was pretty much the defensive equivalent of the JSN deal, that you
Right.
had to lock him
Exactly that. And so they set the bar now,
up. Mm-hmm.
and all they were like was, well, Gonzalez has his eyes wide open on this deal, so we couldn't care less about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they both share the same agent. That agent is going to get already got a massive payday, and they're about to get another one with a Gonzalez deal.
I think the Gonzalez deal may eclipse this one.
Probably.
Oh, there's no question in my mind about that.
Yeah.
By a mile. And
it was just a question of who signed the deal first. If it was Gonzalez, and Witherspoon would have got more money.
We discussed this in June, by the way.
Okay,
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, June.
Kevin, you were right on it.
Yep. If you're looking for Seahawk news, this is the spot right here.
Sure. Go with that.
And monster movie breakdowns and comic book talk.
That's right.
A bunch of stuff.
You best got that going on.
And occasionally we'll talk Jaws, because why not?
Of course.
There you go.
Summer movie classic.
Speaking
Jaws.
of monsters, I was telling my wife about this, that I saw that McDonald's now has a Hello Kitty and Godzilla Happy Meal. Now, I don't know how the two of those things measure up to one another.
I don't know.
But it's out there.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Basically, to keep this in mind here, it's a 4-year, $132 million extension worth $33 million a year.
Yeah.
But if you work the math by math comparisons, it's essentially a 6-year deal.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
$27 million a year. If you're to do the whole.
Yeah, I'm sure he can get along for $27 million a year.
Which I'm pretty sure what a freaking deal, man.
Yeah, if I got $27 million for 1 year, I'm retiring. That's it. That's it for me.
I'm down for that. But here's the thing, though. Let's talk about this, for example. This is one of your two Swiss Army knives on your defense. It's
right.
and Imanwari.
Yes.
Right.
If either one of those two are not healthy, there's a clear and obvious hole in the defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Imanwari is also good to go for week 1 by the looks of it against the Patriots. And man, Witherspoon in coverage is not the greatest core in the world. We've established this by now.
Right.
But in terms of run defense and pass rush and everything else,
yeah.
Holy cow, he's freaking phenomenal.
Right. Let's not make it sound like he's a slouch at pass defense, because he is.
No. By the way, let's also give credit where credit is due to Pete, because I will give Pete Carroll some credit here in this regard. Shocker. I give Pete Carroll some credit.
It can happen.
Yes.
Do you remember that they were slanted to potentially take Jalen Carter?
That's right.
Move?
They sure were.
They were pressured into taking Jalen Carter with this pick, the 5th overall pick in that year's draft.
That's right. They sure were.
And Pete basically said, I want this kid.
Yeah. He wanted Spoon. And say what you want about Pete Carroll, and sometimes it really paid off and sometimes it didn't. But when he wanted a player, he went and got him, regardless of...
Charles Cross is another example.
Charles Cross is probably another great example. Smith and Jigba in the same draft is.
That's right.
Soon.
Yes, Pete's last draft. Pete had a lot of suspect drafts, but his last draft was good.
Suspect drafts
was good. I mean, Pete, I would say as bookends as Seahawks coach,
LJ Collier.
Pete's first draft and last draft were probably his best.
Okay. A lot of his draft picks, there is very few home runs that he's hit.
I know this.
Okay, let's be real here, though, Dustin. Let's be real here. May I remind you, former first-round pick LJ Collier.
Yeah, please don't remind me of that.
Yeah, we
I
don't
will
need to
remind
go
you
down
of
that rabbit hole. All right. Well,
we
rabbit
will
holes
go
usually
down this
wind up
rabbit
being
hole.
kind of nice. It's a rat hole there.
I will be going down this rat hole, and I will.
All right.
So it's okay. We've trashed Pete enough on this program.
Yeah,
Let's be
We
real.
have, but we got
That's
to give
pretty
him.
cool how you could say something nice and trash them all in the same sentence.
I tend to do this. Welcome to my hell. So, but I was so excited to see the Spoon deal get done
Yes.
because this is a guy who you build an entire defense around. He's one of your Kyle Hamiltons on your defense to bring back the Ravens in this.
Mhm.
He's one of your Kyle Hamiltons. Like, you need this guy.
Yeah.
And plus,
Yeah.
as you pointed out, Dustin, this guy showed up in camp, didn't have the deal signed.
Yep.
Yeah.
If he didn't show up in camp, this deal probably would have not got done.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Very
that's the
fair.
kind of player he is. So
Very true on that part, Kevin. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, 6 more years of Spoon.
Oh yeah, for sure. And McDonald, coach, I know you
That's
don't
right.
need any. I know you don't need any pointers from me, but please send him on the blitz more, please.
yeah, we saw that against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's exciting. Oh, boy, I forgot to write down the preseason week 1 notes.
Oh, don't worry about that. I
Already
got
it.
some right up here.
Delightful. So we will get to we will review our playoff brackets later on. But preseason is kicked off finally. Thank God. Okay. For those,
No more
for
weekends
those
without
in the-
football.
Yes.
Thank you. For those in the Seahawk Twitter world that are screaming from the mountaintops and saying
There are.
Brian
They are.
Flores, and there's plenty of you. Brian Flores is a horrible offensive coordinator. Blah blah
Let's
blah.
stop
It's
that.
preseason.
Let's stop that.
Preseason. Shut up,
Yeah.
Kevin. Who are these people?
Take it
Who
away.
are they? Who are they?
Was he? He's an ass.
You know who they are.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir.
Ass.
Major ass.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by ass.
I wonder how
He
much
also-
money he made for saying that, because it probably wasn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. But I have one player that I've had my eye on since the whole since training camp. Tyrese Knight.
Yeah. That's
Oh boy. So Kevin, did you see preseason week 1 versus the Cowboys?
I'm in Dallas, so yeah.
That was a dumb question for me.
And when I first watched this, I was like, what kind of a monstrosity is this? But then you start to break things down a little bit, and things aren't quite as dismal as I took. When I finished watching that game, I was like, this is not good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, 7 points. That's all they scored. But,
do what you want.
Like I said, it's not off the rails
preseason.
just yet. Okay,
Mhm.
so everybody calm
Preseason,
down,
Yeah.
Settle down, children.
settle down a little bit, and there are some concerns that I have, but we'll get into that in a second.
It's preseason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
And I
if
mean,
this were the regular season, I'd be like, okay, I'm a little worried, but it's the preseason.
yeah.
Right. It would be the same thing if they came out and put 42 on them.
Yeah.
It's preseason.
Yeah, it would be the same reaction. And let's all remember, because we all get swept up in it, right? And a lot of people don't like change. And what happened? We won the Super Bowl with Clint Kubiak at OC. Okay, so people are like, oh, Kubiak's a huge loss. Give Fleury a chance. I liked some of what I saw from the tight ends in this game. You'll start to get a sense of what he's trying to do. But the thing is here, nobody's showing their full playbook in the preseason. No they're running vanilla schemes. Get the ice cream, Dan Schneider. They're running vanilla schemes and stripped down versions of the play because nobody wants to show their full cards. And a lot of
What if
times,
somebody wants strawberry, Dustin?
strawberry is. I'm not a fan, but it's fine.
I'm good to go.
But that's the thing to remember, because I had the same knee-jerk reaction as you, Kevin. But to Dan, your point, I want to get your thoughts on it as well. Tyrese Knight is one of the positives you could take away from this game. He played like a man possessed in that game. He wants his starting job back.
I don't think it's even that he wants his starting job back. I think he wants to go on the outside.
Okay.
Because last time I told you, Tyrese Knight, when he came out in college, he could play virtually everywhere. He could play everywhere. He could play on the weak side. He could play in the middle. He could play on the outside. He could play off the ball. He could rush the passer. He can do just about everything. Just about everything. And I immediately thought of Ahmad Brooks.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a throwback name.
So Ahmad Brooks, for those who don't remember, Ahmad Brooks was a former All-Pro for the 49ers during the heyday of the Jim Harbaugh years.
Mm-hmm.
And they had four All-Pro. They had four Pro Bowl linebackers. I think all four of their starters were All-Pros.
Oh, yeah.
Aldon Smith, who had 19 and a half sacks and seemingly disappeared.
Yes.
For reasons. May he rest in peace, by the way.
Yes, rest in peace, all.
Hall of Famer Patrick Willis, soon to be Hall of Famer Navarro Bowman, also Penn State, we are, and they had a fourth guy, Ahmad Brooks.
Yeah,
who was a second team All-Pro.
They were all ridiculous.
They were
right.
animals.
Yeah,
and I think because DeMarcus Lawrence is retiring at the end of the season.
Yes,
we know this. He's already said that publicly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They want to get Tyrese Knight on this field because Drake Thomas is on the weak side. He stole that. He stole that from Tyrese Knight.
Yes.
And Ernest is going to be in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest Jones obviously is the middle linebacker. I want to see Tyrese Knight on the strong side because he's good in coverage too.
He is.
Good in coverage. He can rush the passer if given the opportunity to, and they want to get Derek Hall more snaps. They want to get DeMarcus Lawrence some rest. Dante Fowler Jr., they want to get him some snaps too. Uchenna, they want to get him some snaps too. But it all goes back to how can we get this guy, Tyrese, on the field? Because they got three good linebackers. They got three starters on the inside.
That's right. There's no problem with the linebacking unit.
Thank God.
Yes.
No more days of Michael Wilhoit and Malcolm Smith Super Bowl.
We're not. No more rat holes. Remember that.
Michael Kendricks.
Oh yeah.
Boy, let's keep Kevin. Try to talk me off this Tyrese Knight train.
Let's get back onto the sunny side of life. Right here, okay? And so to bring a little sunshine, because the player that I was most interested in was George Holanek.
Okay.
42 yards on 12 carries. That will get it done.
Yeah, you like to see that.
You like to see that. And another positive, first drive of the game, 13 play, 80 yards, touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so that's the two positives. And then also there was a third one. What's his Richard Rochelle? Does that sound right? Or is it Rashard Rochelle?
I'll have to look.
Had a 52-yard punt return.
Was his position?
Punt returner.
Great. That's helpful, Kevin. Thank you.
And, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And I wrote it down. I think it's Rashad.
Rashad Rochelle.
Okay.
What was his number?
You're getting deeper.
Oh, Rashad Rochelle. Thank you. 35.
Okay,
Got
yes.
it.
Okay.
So Kevin got it right there.
Okay, Rashad
Good job.
Rochelle. And Knight, the thing that you haven't mentioned yet, 10 tackles.
Yeah, he was.
10. I don't care if you're playing Pee-wee football. You get 10 tackles. You're doing it.
Yeah,
I got some obscure linebacker names for those who want to listen.
sure. Throw
Ben
him out there.
Burke-Kirvin. Cody Barton. Shaquem
Cody-
Griffin and his nub of a hand.
I remember.
I miss him.
Yeah,
Jordan
I do.
Brooks, who's an all-pro.
Yeah.
That's amazing. He was an all-pro. That's
Yeah.
shocker. Daryl Taylor, who I was very high on this guy. Let's see what else I got here in this department of nonsense. Let's go back to 2017, shall we? Oh, Jesus Christmas. Terrence Garvin. Do you remember him?
Yes.
He was in the
yes.
very bad years of the... Oh, good God.
But
Michael Wilhoit, I mentioned him before.
Yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
I'm with
This is fun. I like this
I'm
game.
with I'm with Kevin though.
Yeah, we need
Because-
to, like I said, we need to go back to where the rainbows are. Okay.
Yeah. Because Kevin, do you remember who caught that touchdown pass from one Drew Lock? Is Mansouri Foster. This guy,
That's right.
he looked good too. He looked.
I'm glad you
Noah.
said that. How do you pronounce his first name?
I believe it's Mansouri.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, because I got that written down.
Mhm.
Now,
Nick Ballore.
Oh
I like
man,
this
So-
game.
everybody
No.
loves Ballore.
but I knew if I was going to pronounce that, it was going to be all in the ditch. So-
I don't know if I got it perfect, but they talked a little bit about his story on the preseason game
That's
and
right.
also on the episode of Hard Knocks.
Oh,
He's
right.
a
geez.
They sure did.
substitute
Morgan.
teacher, teacher, got his real estate license. And the thing is, the wide receiver coach, he said it. He said that the thing with him is he's put in a lot of work. He's doing all the right things, and he'll make some plays that make your jaw drop, and then he'll make some plays that aren't so good. And in the preseason game, it happened because I imagine we're going to get to Jalen Milroe.
We
but
will.
there was a throw that Jalen Milroe threw it right to Foster, and he dropped it. He dropped it, and that was not on Jalen there. That was and to his credit, after the game in the episode of Hard Knocks, it was nice to watch the preseason game first and then watch Hard Knocks, and you could kind of see. And he's talking to his dad, and his dad said, "You had one drop. You had one drop." He's like 90%. You did pretty good, and
Points.
and his Mansouri said. He said, "No, the drop is all I'm thinking about." You know, that's the thing. So, but he looked. I was impressed by him. I was impressed by him in that game. I was like, who caught this pass from Drew Lock? And yeah, so he was another bright spot. And I don't know if you both noticed when you watched, but I felt like Cody White was consistently getting space. Now
Mhm.
there was a couple in the return game. There was a couple times where things were called back because of holds or whatever. There was a lot of flags in that game. It was brutal, but Cody
also
White, I
preseason.
thought, looked pretty good at points returning, which is a good thing because someone else who had some good moments in that game, Jake Bobo now probably out for the season. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Talk about a downer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a
We
guy
need
you
more
want in your
Bobo.
locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's still with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Wasn't because he's an all-pro. Because he isn't.
No, he's phenomenal in special teams, too.
Well,
Yes.
that's true.
That's why they wanted him. Yeah.
Well, two reasons. Why? Because he's great on special teams and he's great in the locker room.
He's also a big body target.
So, and I remember him catching a ball and it was for a touchdown. And Jake Bobo! know, And so I was very distraught when I heard,
yeah.
because you were the one that brought this out, then I immediately went and checked it out. And he's done for this year.
We have a Desi sighting, by the way.
Yeah.
There
All right.
she is.
Yay!
We were just talking about you, Desi. What's up? In a good way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always.
Always in a good way with Desi.
What do you
So while we're
remember?
talking positive, let me throw one more in there. As Jaden Blue of the Cowboys, this is the guy who's trying to get his career on track,
Mm-hmm.
and the Seahawks completely shut this guy down.
Oh man.
Ain't that fantastic?
Yes. So he's not feasting off what came out of that game. That's for sure.
Amen to that.
He only had 19 yards in the game.
Oh,
And if
boy.
you're playing against backups that have 19 yards, you better make sure you've got your car gassed up because you may not be on the team for very long.
Jesus.
we gotta come up with the most common Kevinisms. I'm saying
Kevinisms.
we put bury him in the backyard at number one. That's I've heard that one a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific.
Okay, so those are the positives.
Oh boy.
There are negatives, however.
Yes.
Yep.
There are.
So
Who
Do
wants
we
to
want to
lead
talk
off
about
with
the negatives, or do you want, or move on to our brackets?
no,
Yeah,
let me just throw this because I know I want to talk about that. It's Jalen
Yeah.
Milroe.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe has me very concerned. And
Also preseason.
it is preseason, and I've seen it where they were talking about where he's complete
Be
trash.
careful about talking about the former Bama boy.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss-
No, hang on. Hang on.
Resident Miss Alabama's in the room. by
Okay,
the way.
hold on though. Complete trash to he's good.
Mhm.
He's not complete trash. Okay.
Oh boy.
But there is a concern. Like the first time he handled the football, it was a fumble.
Yeah.
That's number one. He was
Yeah, but
sacked
was
3
some
times.
of that on Olawatimi?
That's yes. And this guy is the one that's supposed to be able to use his elusiveness to avoid the rush, but he was sacked 3 times.
Let's also be real here, guys. Jalen Milroe coming out of Alabama was an extremely raw project.
True. And that's
Like really raw.
he gets a pass for last year for that.
Jesus.
But he needs to show, like I was saying before, that he can be more than just a gadget guy that they bring in
Yeah.
on third and 1 play.
Like a Seneca Wallace.
Yeah. Seneca Wallace.
Right?
Number
And if all he can
15.
do is run the
Lord.
football, guess what? They're going to have their defense set for that.
Yeah. It's Taysom Hill. That's
Yes. Because Taysom Hill could come in there, he could run it, he could throw it, they could throw it to him. And that's what I'm looking for, some of that out of Jalen Milroe, just because can he even be a viable starter at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Kevin, because I was hoping that he would compete with Drew Lock for the backup job,
Right.
And as of now, and let's not get it twisted. As far as athleticism, Jalen Milroe's on another planet. And
That's right.
the Seahawks are encouraging him to run more. They're saying, use your legs. That's what's got everybody concerned. But the thing is, you got to be able to throw it. And there were some throws in that game where I'm like, he missed badly. He missed some badly. Though, like I said, the one to Foster was not on him. That was a drop. That was a decent throw by Milroe. And it is preseason, so you don't want to get too crazy. But let's be honest, this is where Milroe is going to get most of his playing time, and you want to see at least some improvement.
That's right. You want to see?
also don't want.
Let's
Milroe
contrast this a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys' backup quarterbacks looked outstanding.
Yeah, Sam Howell looked good in this one.
And remember, Sam Howell was the Seahawk
Wow.
for about a minute and a half,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so the Cowboys may have themselves a situation where they've got 2 good backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, 'cause
Rare.
And
Who's
they
the
can
other one,
move one if
Milton?
they want to, if they need to. But the Seahawks don't have that yet. That's what I want to see.
Eh.
You were saying
Now we can
Dan?
talk about brackets if you want.
You were about to say something though, Dan. On
Milroe. You also don't want a situation where, say, Sam Darnold breaks his leg,
Yeah.
and all
oh,
of a
geez.
sudden, oh God, Drew Lock is starting, or Joe Burrow is starting, and then we're screwed.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Well, pretty
So
much
that's
if
why-
any starting quarterback goes down, the team is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow being
exception of the
prime
Patriots.
example number one.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Patriots. I mean, who said it? Tom Moore?
Tom Moore. Yeah. If number
Tom Moore
18
with the
goes
Colts.
down, we are effed. And he goes, we don't practice effed. And it was when
I miss him.
it was when somebody asked him why they didn't give Jim Sorgi more snaps in Indianapolis.
Fantastic quote by legendary coach Tom Moore.
That's right.
Fan freaking tastic. So here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna reveal our playoff brackets, but we're gonna go in order of Kevin, then Dustin, and
Okay.
then me.
Okay.
So we're gonna run through we're gonna do the AFC. We're gonna do both of our brackets, the AFC and the NFC, and then we'll just go to the next person after we're done revealing our 14 teams.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So you joined us for the last 8 or so weeks, and you listened to our NFL preview series, the Time to BS NFL preview series.
That's right.
You listened to it. Fantastic. Some of us got screamed at.
That's fine, by the way.
Thanks, Kevin, for your support.
Well, I mean, somebody's watching, A.
Yes.
And
True.
B, if the screaming is, somewhat coherent, I'm all for it.
I didn't know we pissed off the entire state of Maryland.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're
That is
mad.
absolutely
They're mad.
mind-blowing to me when I see that response.
Incredible.
It was incredible. And like I said, there was someone that made a comment and I asked a question and that person came back and gave a thoughtful answer. And I always appreciate a thoughtful answer, not, hey, you guys are dumbasses.
Follow our TikTok page, please.
Yes, absolutely.
Please. So you watched our 8-week preview series where we previewed the NFC first and the NFC last. Now we're going to reveal our brackets. So here's how it's going to go. Kevin's going to go first,
All right.
then Dustin, and then me. So, Kevin, do you have your brackets ready?
Ready.
All right. Starting off, so how we're doing this, we're going from 7 to 1. Cool?
Okay.
Okay. I
All
was
right,
not
so here we
as,
go.
as prepared for that as I might have been, but
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
okay, so
Or
I'm
you want
ready.
to go from 1 to 7? I don't really care.
No, we can work our way backwards.
All right, so here we go. Kevin's AFC bracket.
Okay, so we're going to start off at number 7, and that's when the AFC North, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, and I went back and forth on this. Cincinnati's at Baltimore. Is it Cincinnati's at Baltimore? All we need for Cincinnati is a little defense and some Joe Burrow. So I'm there for that.
Okay.
So that's number 7. So number 6, I'm going to go with I'm going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 6 because I think that's them and Houston. It's going to be knocking heads. Okay, so 7-6, 5. I'm going to go with the Chargers because I'm not exactly. I want to believe that they can do better, but they've got to prove that to me. That's number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. The Patriots will make the playoffs, but they're not going to have the season they did a year ago. So there's that. And then number 3, I am going to go with the, let's see, Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, they make the playoffs. Okay. So then I'm going to come over to number 2, and that's the Denver Broncos. They're going to have a healthy quarterback all season, even though they're not going to have this 10-1 record against one-score games, but they're going to be good enough to make the playoffs. So that leaves my number 1 team, and that's the Houston Texans.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
got that.
All right.
So you want me to do with the NFC now?
Go with the NFC. Yep.
NFC. Okay, so we're going to switch over to the NFC, and that's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I had them win in a division. I want to stay there. But that doesn't mean because you won a division means that you're a great team. Doesn't mean that at all.
So you have Tampa Bay as your number 7 seed.
Number 7 seed.
They're not winning the South?
They're going to win the South, but I'm talking about where I'm ranking these teams.
Oh, I thought we were talking
all
about
right.
playoff seeding, Kevin.
Okay, so given that information, so we're going to slot in Tampa Bay at number 4 there. So, okay. So number 7, I am going to go with the, let's see. You're making this kind of tough. The Chicago Bears.
Mwahaha.
Okay. They're going to make the playoffs. I'm not giddy about them. And we talked about that. Number 6, I'm going to go with number 6. Let's see. Where am I? The San Francisco 49ers. Okay, they're still going to make the playoffs, even though they're not going to win the division. Number 5, this is going to freak people out. I'm going with the Rams. Because the Rams, to me, are not winning the division either. So then I'm going to slot in New England or the Tampa Bay right here because they won the division and they're going to host a playoff game. So then at number 3, I am going to slot in the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 2, I'm slotting in the Detroit Lions. They're going to be back in the playoffs this year. And so I'm still going with our Seattle Seahawks as the number 1 seed in the NFC. And self-promotion, I wrote an article about Super Bowl odds. Check it out. And you probably will be able to tell before we even start who I've got as the best bet to bet on the Super Bowl. And I have reasons why, not just because I'm a Seahawk fan. Okay.
That helps too.
So that's my brackets, AFC and NFC.
All right, Dustin, do you have your brackets ready to go, seeding and ready to go?
I do, and I made a last-second change. You probably saw me scribbling in my notebooks because I
did see you
I had to go.
scribbling in there.
I was like,
There
wait
you
a minute,
go.
I have to go back. So I do have them ready.
All right.
ready. So
Ready to go.
AFC seeding, it's the Jags at number 7 for me. And then we got the Pats at number 6. Okay. Their strength of schedule is going to increase. They had people want to talk about the Seahawks schedule last year. The Pats had a cupcake schedule. They got to do a better job of protecting Drake May this year. At number 5, I have the Broncos, the Denver Broncos. All right, number 4, the number 4 seed, the Buffalo Bills. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, a possibility for the best defense in the NFL, the Houston Texans. And my number 1 seed, you and I talked about it, Dan. We opened the previews with this. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they've done enough to rebuild that defense. And I think this is the year, and I think Joe Burrow realizes it. They will not start slow like they have in previous seasons, and provided Joe Burrow can stay healthy, which is a big if, I think the Bengals got a chance to be the number 1 seed. So now we're going to shift over to the NFC, and here's where I made my change because I originally was with you, Kevin. I was going to have the Bears in here because I said originally in our preview that I thought they snuck in like on the final day of the season. I thought it was going to be one of those things, but then I forgot. I went back and I examined my records. At number 7, I have the Minnesota Vikings. I really do think that Kyler Murray, Kevin O'Connell is going to turn them around. Defense wasn't the problem in Minnesota last year, although unfortunately for them, Jamal Adams already out for the season. He just could not stay healthy. Number 6, and I said it, I think they're a wild card team. Don't hate me, everybody, but if they get in, anything can happen. I think that's where the Seahawks fall as a wild card team.
What you have done has made God very unhappy.
That's how good I think the NFC West is going to be, Dan, and they're going to get everybody's best shot. I really believe that. At number 5, I have the 49ers. Number 4, because now we're getting into the division winners now. Number 4, the New Orleans Saints. They win the South. They turn it around. They win the South. I like some of their moves. At number 3, we're getting to the Lions. They're the 3 seed for me. Number 2 is Eagles. And Lord help me, number 1 seed, the Rams.
Watch somehow the Rams win like 10 games.
I know. That's the
It'd
thing.
be great.
It could happen. That's the thing.
It could
Reverse
happen.
jinx.
As I pointed out in my article, only 12% of preseason favorites went on to win the Super Bowl. So know that.
All right. So here we go. My bracket. All right. AFC. Everyone knows the running joke on this program knows I'm way too optimistic in the New York Jets.
Hey, do it, Dan. Do
It
it.
continues. Number 7, the New York Jets finally make the playoffs for the first time since 2010. They win 10 games and finish as the 3rd wild card in the AFC. Number 6, Kansas City sneaks back in. I adjusted a little bit. I was going to go Tennessee. I was going to go Jacksonville.
Okay.
Kansas City they're poised for a bounce back, but at the same point, which Kansas City team are we going to get will ultimately decide where I will have them right now.
Yeah.
Notice how I have the Chiefs as a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think this Chiefs team is as good as they were in years past.
No.
I'll reveal why later on. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills at 11-6. New head coach Joe Brady. I like what they did in the offseason. They brought in DJ Moore. They gave Josh Allen another legitimate number 1 option, which he desperately needed. But that pass rush has got to get better. Which brings me to the AFC East champion, the reigning defending AFC champion New England Patriots. I don't think last season was so much of a fluke, but adding A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs does help a ton for Drake May. Brings me to the AFC West champion, number 3 seed, the Denver Broncos. That defense is not going to be as good as they were last year. A healthy Bo Nix still gets them pretty far, and I still think they win this division. Number 2, I'm on Dustin's train, the Cincinnati Bengals. 12-5. Gets them back in the playoffs as the AFC North champions. The number 1 seed, the Houston Texans, 13-4. They clinch the AFC South and the AFC's number 1 seed, where they hopefully get to the AFC Championship game for the first time in franchise history. NFC. I was jumping back and forth with who I think was going to represent the number 7 seed in the NFC. I was jumping back and forth between Chicago and one other team. I'm going to go to the other team, the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I don't think last season was a fluke. I think they're on the rise in Uptown Charlotte, and I'm weirdly optimistic for Dave Canales, former Seahawks quarterback coach, now head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and something tells me that they got something brewing in Charlotte.
Okay.
Number 6, the 49ers. If healthy, this is the best team in the NFC. If healthy. If healthy, this is the best team in the NFC, top to bottom. But I don't know. It's hard to tell because the NFC West is going to be a bloodbath.
Yes.
Number 5, sorry, Rams fans. I still don't trust them. I don't trust the Rams. And I still think the Rams are going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they win the West. Number 4, New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints win the NFC South at 11-6. I'm very high on the Saints this year, and why not? Give me the Saints. Number 3, the NFC North champion Detroit Lions. 12 wins gets them in the playoffs as the number 3 seed in the NFC. Philadelphia takes the number 2 seed at 13 wins, 4 losses. A.J. Brown addition via subtraction is going to help a ton. But also that defense is still really, really good in Philadelphia.
Well, it's also Kevin Patullo is gone.
Number 1, the reigning champions. The Seattle Seahawks take the number 1 seed in the NFC. The addition, Shaheed for a full season, a full season, Nicky Manwari, another great season of an offensive line. Sam Darnold is going to have a bounce-back season. And dare I say, why not give Sam Darnold top 4 MVP votes?
Oh, man, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be
I hope
fantastic.
you're right.
I'm down.
Right.
So that's where I got for my playoff brackets for the AFC and the NFC. So let's hope to God I am wrong. I hope I'm wrong because
Hope you're right because you got the Seahawks at number 1.
well, I hope I'm right there, but I hope I'm wrong with I don't know the other
So
teams.
let me just ask this because both you have New Orleans. Does the injury to Jordan Tyson, does that concern you at all? Because it does
Not really. Not really, because they're going to run the football a ton.
Yeah.
And Travis Etienne does help a lot. And Alvin Kamara, if healthy, is their number 2 back.
Yeah, he's still there. Yes.
He's still there.
And I think to piggyback off of what Dan is saying, the tight end down there, really good as well.
Jawan Johnson.
Yes. And
I like him a lot.
Yeah. And the other thing is I was just really impressed by Shuck. He's very good. And
shucking it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And part of what makes we all know Kellen Moore's ability as a play caller. So I think he's really going to have something cooked up, and they played hard for him last year. And the big thing is you mentioned it, Kevin, because I was saying, this kid could get on the field right away if he stays healthy. He's already hurt, but Chris Olave is enough almost by himself if he can stay healthy. Yeah. If he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm big on Chris Olave. I always have been.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, I have nothing for BS of the week.
All
okay,
right.
so I don't know if you guys talked about this or not. So did you see where there was 2 committees that approved the sale of the Seahawks?
Yes.
I did see that. Yes.
I
And
did see that.
the vote is next week.
Man,
You guys nervous?
And it was unanimous in the committee. So this is going forward just like we thought.
You guys nervous?
No, not nervous at all. This will be a clean sweep, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Dustin, are you nervous?
Not any excuse to use that, right? But this is
Very
something.
much so.
This is something that I'm not nervous about, but it'll feel a little different because the Allens, some form of the Allens, have had the team for so long, and but hopefully you don't really notice a change at all.
I don't think you will.
Mhm.
Somebody
I don't think
owns
so
the team. That's all you're going to see, and they'll raise a flag.
Yeah.
That's about all.
I don't think so either. By the way, next week we have a very quiet show. Very quiet show next week. But the following week, we preview week 1 of the NFL season, of the Seahawks season with the New England Patriots.
That's insane to me. I cannot believe we are that close, gentlemen.
That's right.
How awesome is that?
It's unbelievable. It really is. So
How awesome.
looking forward to it.
So, with that being said, I got nothing for BS this week, so I think we're going to close up shop for here today. With that being
Yeah.
said, Kevin was late, but regardless, he's from the great state of Texas. Dustin's coming in from No Crush Required in the capital region of Albany, New York. My name is Dan Cruz. I'm coming in from the beaches of Long Island, New York, and why not?
Why not?
We'll probably see you next week, if not the week after. From this life, I'll start the next one. Cheers, everyone.